I almost started recording before I checked how much time I had allotted in this current cycle of podcasting. You can only upload so many minutes of content before you have to pay for additional hosting services. So, good news, everybody. I'm still clear, so I'm not worried about that part. So, we'll get to do the show that I wanted to do today. So, let's do this. Welcome back to Trent Takes On 2.0. I'm Trent, the Trent from the title of the show. And why did I want to start out talking about the show I wanted to do and the minutes that I had left? I wanted to take a moment at the very beginning, before I even started into the normal ranting and raving that you've all grown to know and hopefully love, maybe. I don't know. I wanted to say for a moment, I get it. This is an attention economy. You have limited numbers of minutes in every day, and you want to fill it with the best stuff that you can. You want to look for content that tickles your hippocampus or whatever part of your brain that makes you happy, or however you want to feel today. And I wanted to start out with an admission that I understand that. And I understand that there are tons. Like I said, the 2026 is a year of appreciation for me. There are tons of other places building content similar to what I do. Lots of professionals, lots of people who do it for money. They get paid good money to do it. I do this as a hobby. I pay to do it. I love doing it, and it's part of my therapy. And I appreciate every one of you who uses what few minutes you have, what limited minutes you have of free, like completely, it's like free money, it's like fun money. You have free fun minutes. If you use your fun minutes to listen to me, that's one of the ultimate, it's one of the ultimate signs of respect and admiration that I could get. Even if you don't respect and admire me, I take it that way. So thank you. I also, every once in a while, will have somebody reach out and talk to me about the show. Share a message about the show. I've never had a horrible negative experience. And if you want to send me a horrible negative experience, just save it. I won't read it, and I'll ignore it, and I don't care. But if you want to share a positive experience with me, I will treasure it like the most wonderful thing ever. If you listen to this show, you need to reevaluate your life choices, because that's really dumb. I really do. I really try to offer some sort of silver lining, some sort of hope, some sort of upside, some sort of positivity in a world that at times feels like it's designed to do the opposite. And this last week, I got reached out to by somebody who listens to the show, and somebody that I actually know personally, who is now living in Minneapolis. And it was really, really nice to hear from her. And I thank you very, very much for joining me every week and spending time with me every week, because Minneapolis is crazy right now. And she confirmed, man, it's basically a war zone there with ICE on the rampage every day, and observers every day out trying to find them and communicate their locations and make sure that people know where ICE is, where these agents are. And it's losing its shine in the national spotlight, which is wrong. It shouldn't. They swapped out the commander, and it's like that made it better. It didn't. They've claimed to have drawn down 700 agents. I don't buy it. They're more aggressive toward observers now, which I didn't know would be possible, but that's what the reports are from the ground. So if you're in Minneapolis, I still think of you. I still think of Minnesota as the turning point. This has been, the thing that has changed the argument and emboldened a lot of people to stand up that weren't before. And it's going to make all the difference in the long run. And I know that it sucks right now. But to those who are continuing to fight the good fight, if you will, you have my essentially undying admiration and my promise that when the fight comes to my door, I'm ready. We're on the lookout. OTL. But to be fair, I think that ICE is scared of this place where I live. I think they're very terrified of it. I live in a majority-minority region of Southern California, and I think they're scared of this place. So they don't get too out over their skis here. For those of you who are fighting them back across the country, keep going. Keep going. Tell your story. Tell the story of what's happening. That's the most important thing. So I got reached out to by somebody who listens to the show and who really appreciates me talking about it, talking about these things, thinking rationally and logically about them, and talking to others about that. And man, that means the world to me. So thank you. That being said, I know that there are dozens of other people, hundreds, I don't know, thousands of other people doing similar shows to this. And to them, I say, keep going. To me, I'm going to keep going, even though I know I'm not the best at it, even though I don't have the biggest reach, even though I know, there are, I may be a niche product, but for me, it's important. And it's important that the people that I know and love know that I do this, continue to do this, that this is part of my values, that I'm proud to be who I am. And there may have been a time in my life, not all that long ago, it was a while ago, where I wouldn't say that, but I say it now. So with that in mind, the year of gratitude continues, and I've burned the first 7.5 minutes of you listening to me going, you're sitting there going, what else happened, man? Well, I'll tell you, Bad Bunny happened this weekend at the Super Bowl. That was an amazing halftime show. It was inspirational. It was joyous. It was filled with love. It was filled with culture. It was filled with knowledge. The symbolism left, man. Oh, to those who have complained about, the Bad Bunny and the international music, like, I hate to break this to you, but Puerto Rico has been a part of the United States since 1898, which is before the state that I was born in was a state. Oklahoma became a state in 1907. It was before the additions of Arizona and New Mexico, and of course Alaska and Hawaii as well. So Puerto Rico is the United States of America. It is part of us. And we don't treat Puerto Rico properly as a country. We don't do enough to take care of the people of Puerto Rico, who continue to this day to suffer from stressed infrastructure that isn't capable of supporting the island. They are constantly hit by hurricanes, and in a constant state of rebuilding and trying to make it better every time out. And I think that the endurance of Puerto Rico and the beauty of the culture, man, it's something to behold. And Bad Bunny, mad props. Awesome show. Uplifting. unifying and really defiant at the same time. And I'm blown away. So if you haven't caught it yet, what are you waiting for? See Bud Bunny's halftime show. It was fantastic. That's the upside of the week for me. There were other things that happened. The Olympics started. U.S. Olympians are being honest about what it feels like to represent the United States right now, and that it's not an easy time to rep the U.S. It's very difficult to stand on the international stage and say, you know, I'm proud of being an American, because a lot of the things that are happening right now are not things to be proud of. There is a total failure on behalf of the regime to understand just how unpopular they are, not just in the United States, where they are unpopular. You people don't like you. People don't like any of you. And your approval around the world is worse. So, it's a tough time to represent America in an international sporting competition. So to the Olympians representing the U.S., I'm damn proud when you use your platform in your moment to say, I love what this country could be. I love some of the things this country has done, but I want it to be better now. And that is honest and truthful and awesome of you to say. So, and I've heard it repeatedly. I've heard it from several of these American athletes. You know, good on you, and keep doing what you do, because that's what we need. More awareness, more realization, more support against a regime that doesn't listen to us. They're going to come around because we're getting louder. As for the rest of it, there were 3 million more pages of the Epstein files that have dumped. Total disaster. The DOJ is a joke. Their redaction quality is pathetic. They continue to participate in a cover-up. There are another approximately 3 million files that they still haven't given up. They have broken this law that was passed back in December. Was it December when it was passed? Yeah, it was December when it was passed. It gave them 30 days to give up the goods, my man. And if you're not going to give up the goods, you have to explain why you didn't give up the goods, and they haven't done that either, and they haven't done that yet on all the redactions. They have really failed to follow the law as it was written, or give any explanation as to why they can't. They've been working on this thing forever, and they still haven't gotten it right. To put it mildly, Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, his right-hand lady, his recruiter and co-assaulter, ran a child sex trafficking ring. Full stop. They grabbed underage girls. They would blackmail them. They would harass them. They would berate them. They would, basically coerce them into doing their bidding, and they would traffic them to other people. And Epstein was killed in his cell for it. I don't believe that he committed suicide. I still don't. Knowledge that they erased the data of the video from that night that he was found dead doesn't make it feel any better. Doesn't make it look any less scummy. The part where they claim that the guard that was on duty was asleep. All of this is true. It's gross. It sure points towards something nefarious. So that's where I am. The Epstein files continue to be the biggest cover-up in the history of our nation, our government, at least. The truth is like slowly coming out. It's like squeezing blood out of a rock, but the truth is slowly coming out, and eventually these survivors of this abuse, of these horrible crimes, are going to find some sort of justice. But man, in the meantime, they're being re-traumatized over and over and over again, and it's vile. Donald Trump's name appears in the Epstein files more than the name Jesus appears in the Bible, and more than the name Harry Potter. Harry appears in the Harry Potter books, and there were a bunch of those. That's how often he gets brought up in the Epstein files. Jeffrey Epstein was obsessed with Donald Trump. He considered him one of his best friends, his most powerful friend. And there are a lot of financial dealings that haven't been looked into yet. Nobody's bothered to follow the money because the DOJ hasn't produced the financial documents yet. Eventually we'll get there and we'll start to find out how this guy made his money, from whom, what he claimed it was for. We'll see. And a lot of his former clients, I use that word really loosely, are still alive. So these rich people who are being protected by the Department of Justice will eventually come to light, and it will be a scene. So that's in the offing. It continues to boil under the surface. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is, the Mad King himself is doing everything he can to throw smoke around. He complained about the Bad Bunny halftime show. Before that, last week, after my episode I think it was Thursday evening, late night, there was a late night Truth Social post, which was an AI generated video of him, of Donald Trump depicted as the king of the jungle, with his face on a lion's body. And yes, you've heard about it, racist as it is, depicting the Obamas' faces on the bodies of gorillas. And they blamed it on a staffer who apparently has access to Donald Trump's Truth Social account and can post in the middle of the night whatever he wants. Think about that for a second. Not true. Obviously not true. And then Donald Trump blows up that lie by saying he's the one that saw the video and approved of its posting, but he didn't watch the whole thing. And then when it was taken down, of course, because it's unbelievably offensive, it's incredibly racist. And Donald Trump's complaint was he didn't see the whole thing, and therefore, because he didn't know what was in it, he didn't do anything wrong. So he refuses to apologize for it. So I want you to think about this for a second. This is what I wanted to talk about today. Donald Trump is withholding federal funding for a tunnel, a train project that connects New York and New Jersey, because he wants New York to rename Dulles International Airport and I think it was Penn Station. After him. He wants them to be named after him. Donald Trump wants to build a 250-foot Arch de Triomphe. There's a l'Arc de Triomphe in Paris. And Donald Trump wants one in Washington, D.C. With his name on it. Donald Trump wants his name on the ballroom. Donald Trump put his name on the Kennedy Center. Donald Trump wants his name on everything because he's a man desperate to have a legacy that outshines everyone else. He wants to put his name on everything. He's putting his name on everything. He's having a coin minted in his image to celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States. Everything is about Trump. It's always been about Trump. He puts his name on everything because his name is the only one that's important. It's got to be the Trump this. It's got to be the Trump that. It's got to be the Trump this and Trump that. And Trump RX launched. It's a pharmacy, an online pharmacy where if you have a prescription for these 43 different drugs, you can get them at a discounted rate. Now, here's the deal with Trump RX. It only accepts cash, so you can't pay with insurance. You can't use insurance to pay for anything. Um, yeah, just another, just another thing, just another thing that they claim is good, that they claim is important, that they claim is powerful. Meanwhile, they're taking insurance subsidies away from people so they won't have insurance, so that I guess they'll have to buy their medicines on Trump RX using cash. And it ain't cheap. They negotiated these prices. Well, piss poor job, to be fair. Wants his name on everything because he's the only one that's important. He's the only one that's important. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that as an argument for the Trumper in your family, who still defends him, who still says, he's doing whatever he's doing the right thing for us, and blah blah blah. He's the best president ever. No, he's not. This is hilarious. He's simultaneously the worst president ever and the second worst president ever. Yeah, this term is worse than the prior term, which was the worst presidential term ever. So he owns the top 2 slots in the worst president of all time rankings. Congratulations. Donald Trump is all about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is all about Donald Trump. 85% of his stable coin is operated by a company called Coinbase, that the president and CEO of that company was found guilty of all kinds of financial misdeeds in the United States. He pardoned that guy by the name of CZ. Yeah, because that guy gave him money. So he bought a pardon, and then there's this other thing going on where, they're carrying his Bitcoin, his Trump coin garbage, and whatever it's called. Crypto is a big fucking scam, y'all. It always has been. And Donald Trump is using crypto to money launder, to get around all kinds of laws, because there's an anonymity to it. But in the end, you have to take the money out of that and you put it into a regular account, or it's not real money. You know what I mean? So even though they're breaking all kinds of laws, and even though he's basically embezzling, here's the latest. He's suing his own IRS for $10 billion for leaking his tax returns. Well, it wasn't the IRS that did it. It was a subcontractor who went to prison for it. But he's suing the IRS for $10 billion. Now, keep in mind, his administration runs the IRS, so they're going to develop some sort of settlement. So he's going to settle. He's on both sides of a lawsuit. He's suing himself, and he gets to use taxpayer money to pay himself off. Everything is about Donald Trump. Everything. This show has become about the injustices caused by the regime. I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about how hard it is to be a parent in 2026. I want to talk about the addictive properties of the AI engines that these motherfuckers are pushing into our faces. And this is the future of our world. Meanwhile, the largest use case for AI is therapy. People are using artificial intelligence as a replacement for an actual therapist. Now, keep in mind, AI doesn't have any ethics code. There's no actual training that goes into it, and it doesn't care like a human. It doesn't have any sort of actual empathy for you. Yet that's how people are using AI. That's what I want to be talking about. Instead, I have to talk about Donald Trump all the time because everything is about Donald Trump. He isn't in this for anybody else. He's in it for himself, to stay out of prison, and to grift as much as he can, to steal as much money as he can. And at the end, he's going to use his magic pen and he's going to pardon himself of all his federal crimes. That's the plan. That's the plan. And they'll do it. They almost did it last time after January 6th, but they're definitely going to do it this time. Assuming he doesn't die in office. Because he is an old man and mediocre health. But it sure is hard to kill evil, so I would imagine that he's going to be alive for a while. When your Trumper buddy, uncle, cousin, sister, friend, so-called friend, chiropractor, whoever it is, tells you about how Donald Trump is doing the best thing he can for our country. No, he's not. He's doing everything's about him. Sorry, that's my stomach growling, by the way. I'm like due for my lunch salad and I haven't had it yet. Need salad. I'm trying really hard to eat well and lose my visceral fat. I have visceral fat. If you listen to my other podcast, No Plan, No Problem, we did an entire episode. Well, not an entire episode. There was a 10-minute segment on me talking about visceral fat, which is the impacted fat around your organs, the hardest ones to get rid of, the stubborn belly fat. That's my problem. So I'm trying to get rid of that, and I'm like jumping through every hoop imaginable. Next up, salad for lunch. This is all about Trump. Everything has to be about Trump. And that's your argument. Tell me how it's not. Everything's about him. Everything's about him. The tax code is for him. You know, the cryptocurrency negligence they don't have the FBI disbanded its cryptocurrency investigations unit in the first weeks of the Trump presidency because they plan on doing a whole bunch of crypto crime. And they have. And they're going to get away with it because they control the levers that would investigate and prosecute them. We've put the criminals in charge of the cops. Sound familiar? All the good cops have left. All the good lawyers were like, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be a part of this. So all that are left are the bad guys. Look at what they do. Look at what they're defending. Look at what their Gestapo, their secret police is doing. It is indefensible. Yet they're in court every day defending it. Everything is about Trump. And every distraction is to keep your eyes averted from what he's doing illegally. And a lot of the shit that they're doing to distract you is illegal too. This is exhausting. And I'm tired as fuck. And it's everything they do. From racist Truth Social posts that then become a news story that he then gets to say, I didn't do anything wrong. Because he's Donald Trump and there's nothing ever sticks to him. Of course he's a racist piece of trash. Look at his history. Of course. You didn't see this before? Of course the regime's policies are racist, sexist, bigoted. White rich dudes, man. They're the only people with any worth to them. Everyone else is just a throwaway person. Think about it. Think about that, Trumper. You're just a throwaway person. You're not rich enough to be important. So you're just a throwaway person. Rough, isn't it? So, while Trump will continue to make everything about Trump because that's what Trump does. That's what Trump does. He will distract us with more criminality from his other criminality. It just gets worse and worse all the time. until the people who can do something, Republicans, business leaders, law leaders, judicial leaders, stand up and go, no more. This has to end. We can't continue to let him do what he's doing. He can't just run amok with no accountability. Until someone starts to hold them accountable, they'll keep doing it. And that's why people have to wake up. If it takes this, 10 months and then we get some sort of fix in the midterm elections and a big landslide happens and the sea changes and Congress is suddenly in the hands of people who are like, we are going to hold this guy to account. We are going to be the check and balance we're supposed to be. If it takes that long, well, it takes that long. But it doesn't have to take that long. Business leaders can start now. They can start now. Giant law firms can start now. The Republican Party can start now. Oh, I'm scared of the base. You need to be scared of the consequences of what you're doing. That's what you should be scared of. That's what you should be scared of. Consequences. Accountability. It's time to stand up and say, this is not okay. It's not okay to trample on the Constitution. It's not okay to steal from the American people. It's not okay to take gifts from foreign governments for preferential treatment. I'm looking at you, UAE. I'm looking at you, Qatar. I'm looking at you, Saudi Arabia. I'm looking at you, Argentina. Non-stop. Non-stop. He's not allowed to take any of these gifts. He wasn't allowed to take that $400 million plan. And just because Pam Bondi says it's okay, because the Department of Justice says it's okay. It's not actually a gift to Donald Trump. It's a gift to the country. No. He's taking it with him when he leaves office. It's a gift to Donald Trump. Get the fuck out of here with it. It's a gift to the country. We're waking up, aren't we? Minneapolis was an alarm. We'll see. We'll see. This ain't over by a damn sight. People are waking up, and accountability is coming, and the desperation is going to get worse. So you got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to pay attention. You got to lift up the people who need to be lifted up. You need to be an ally. Did you get your whistle yet? Did you share me with a buddy yet? Come on, man. Let's do this. Let's spread the good word. We're in this together. And because we're in it together, we win together. And we will win. So pay attention. Be in the know. That's going to do it for me for today. I want to come back a little bit later in the week to another show. Hopefully Friday. In the meantime, please, please, please be good humans. It's the least we can do. Thank you one more time for being here with me. And until next time, peace